Carty, waking up this morning, it's game day. How you pull up this morning?
Oh, it's pretty easy for us coaches, Jimmy. The players are obviously a little bit nervous, but they're used to it. This is game 3. They know what's in front of them.
Can you sense the excitement around the place, the decider? It's really building up, isn't it?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I've just been wandering around town this morning. I think there's certainly a lot more people with maroon jumpers in the street. There's the odd blue one, but there's always a bit of a buzz in Brisbane around Origin time. But yeah, you can sense that this one's got a little bit more to it.
How's the reception been from the locals?
Same as usual. Yeah, you don't get many very good mornings. But yeah, it's good fun.
Why is the team confident you can get the job done?
I think if you break the games down, not that they mean anything now, it's all on the line tonight. But the first 2 games we were pretty much the dominant side. We had a 20-minute period where we made mistakes and gave penalties away, and they came up with a try. So if you look at the 2 games on a whole, and we can repeat that sort of effort in game 3. You would think that would mount to a victory, but as I said, those games are gone, and this one, there's a lot more on the line in this game.
It was obviously a really tough loss to take, and you could see the pain in a lot of the players' faces. What have you done, and how confident you are that their heads are right for this to start in the right note?
Oh, look, players these days tend to get over that pretty quickly. They were straight back to their clubs, and most of them have been very strong for their clubs. So. That's state of origin. It's up 1 minute, it's down the next, and it's whilst it was hard. It was 3 weeks ago. The thing that we sort of have looked at is that as I said earlier, in those 2 games we were the dominant side for the majority of the game. So we just got to make sure we have that little lapse period where we give penalties away and turn the ball over.
There's always a lot of pressure on Mitchell Pearce, and obviously the spotlight was shone on him after that match. How do you think he'll sort of fare up, and what's probably a really key game for him as far as his Origin career goes?
Well, look, you can only go by how he's handled himself in and around the camp. That's the only time that I get to see him. And look, he's aware of it wasn't Mitchell Pearce that cost us the game in game 2. He did a lot of good things, and he was one of the best in game 1 until he got injured. So Mitch has just got to be consistent with his form as he has been in the first 2 games, and just all work for each other. And as I said, it's you feel for him sometimes, because it certainly wasn't Mitch's problem what happened in game 2.
It's 1-1, but do you take the mindset that you have dominated this series? Queensland's led for a couple of minutes of this series, really. Do you feel like you guys have been on top?
Yeah, that's what you can't hide from. When things go wrong in a game, and we dealt with that very early in the week. But statistically, not that they mean much. We've been the dominant side. Scoreboard-wise, we've been the dominant side. So yeah, that's the attitude that we're taking into game 3.
Do you expect possibly an ambush from them tonight to really come out and?
I don't. I would be very surprised if either side got ambushed tonight. Both sides are aware. These games seem to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and people are talking about this one, the biggest of all time. So I'd be really surprised if someone got ambushed.
History's against you. I think you've only won 2 of 10 deciders up here. Is that daunting?
I don't tend to look into those things. For me myself, I've only been back this year, so it's a decider. I've been involved up here before in deciders, and we've got away with it. So I think it's a little bit different these days. That these guys play. They love playing at Suncorp now. They play here every week. Every time they play here, it's a big occasion. But look, not hiding from it, it's a massive occasion. They've got some players, some great players who may be playing their last game. So we're going to be up against it, but I'm sure we're ready for it.
Jonathan Thurston's farewell tonight. Are you expecting them to lift off the back of that?
Oh, I think for sure. I think it'll be the stadium will be full of Jonathan Thurston jumpers and probably masks, and the players will be on the field there. They'll be aware that it's his last game, but that can't affect the way we approach the game tonight. We know how important it is for us as well.
Bit of a reshuffle for them. Michael Morgan playing out of position in the centres. Defensively, can you go at him? Can you target him?
It's difficult. Depends how the game pans out. We got a lot of strike players across the field as well, so we certainly don't want to take Jared Haynes' ability to get the ball away, get the ball to Jared. So it'll depend how the game pans out. But there's certainly no no plan to target either side of their field. I think both their edges are foreign to each other, and they both defend differently to each other. So, you know, we just got to see how the game pans out. I'm sure, you know, if we hang on to the ball, both edges will get plenty of work.
You mentioned Hainsey. By his own admission, he wasn't at his best game too. He's a big game player. What are you expecting from him tonight?
Yeah, you know, it's been a different Jared in this camp. There's probably a sharper edge, and you know, I think there's been a sharper edge to all of them. Look, in the end, he is a big game player, and he does go. You know, what makes him good is he often goes for the big play and it comes off. So, you know, I think he'll probably be a little bit more selective. Look, he made a couple of errors in game 2. I'm pretty sure he won't do that again tonight.
Fifita said he was sledged at the end of game 2. Is he on a mission for revenge tonight?
I'll be surprised if he wasn't sledged, to be honest with you. I think they all cop a bit of, you know, he gives as good as he gets. Look, you know, they did a good job on him in game 2. You know, there was nothing, I don't think there was much Andrew could have done about the extra attention he got. You know, the fact was that for the majority of the game we were on top. They put a lot of attention on him and they did a good job. But, you know, I think, again, he's a big game player. He's won grand finals. He's played for his country and his state. So I expect him, you know, if he can come up with the same figures again, they're going to have to work really hard again to stop him.
Cuddy, Laurie said earlier this year and hasn't really changed his focus or changed his opinion that this would be his last series. Has he dropped any hints to you? And as he's, you know, have you been sounded out at all?
No, Laurie hasn't said anything regarding the future. And he wouldn't, you know, he doesn't want this to be about him. This is about New South Wales getting a victory. And look, I can see that he loves what he does, and you know, I think he's done a tremendous job as well. So if Laurie decided that he wanted to continue, they'd be mad not to have him, in my opinion.
And if he didn't, would you be interested?
Oh, look, it's not nothing I've thought about. You know, my priorities with Manly, and I'm just grateful that he's given me an opportunity to work in this arena again.